in the ancient Near East and up to the time of Jesus, the mountain had a very significant place in the lives of the people. A mountain was a place of encounter with God, with the divine. The mountain was a place of enactment. That's why at Mount Sinai, God came to meet his people and made a holy covenant with them because of the significant value that the mountain had. So at the mountain, God revealed himself because it was a place of the revelation of God, of the divine. It is at this mountain that Moses goes to meet God, to plead for his people. And you see, after that encounter of Moses with the people, he comes to meet the people. People are afraid because his face was shining, was glittering, had changed. Why did it change? Because he had an encounter with the living God. And people are afraid to touch him. So every time he came from conversing with God, he covered his face partially so that people don't become so anxious. When he went back again to converse with God, he took off the veil. This significant encounter between Moses and God brings out very, very important lesson. His face changed. Why? Because he had a divine, intimate conversation with God. Meaning that the conversation, the encounter with God, an intimate conversation with God can transform someone. You can imagine many people who come to church, as we have come today. They don't know how to address God. They don't have needs to tell God. They don't know how to tell God, how to pass on their needs to God. Some will just sit there. And what would happen if you just sit in the church? Because today, the mountain of glorification, the mountain of encounter is the church. This is where the Lord is. This is where we meet the Lord. Some will come to the church without any agenda. You sit there and you expect your lives to change. No. But Moses went there with an agenda. He carried the problems of the people, the cries of the people. He pleaded for them. So after pleading, conversing intimately with God, he came out. They were able to see that in the gospel of today, Jesus continues to speak in parables. What are parables? Parables is, that was a modality through which Jesus preached to the people. It was an easier way of transmitting the message. In this way, he spoke in similitudes, in illustrations. He was illustrating the message because the kingdom of God cannot be explained using human concept, idea. You know, the kingdom of God is greater than anything. It's greater than a religion. It's greater than the church. So to explain the kingdom of God, he had to use simple, illustrative modalities of teaching called parables. And today he's teaching them using two parables. The parable of the merchant, the parable of the pew. And in the first parable, he presents someone who goes to search for something. Basically, it's a worker in a farm, digging. And while he's digging for his wage, he's working so that at the end of the month he's paid by the master. He discovers a box with the treasure there. And he says, no, I have to go and find the money and get this treasure. The second one, the second person there, basically his agenda is to find the treasure, the pew. He's looking for it, and when he finds this, he's very happy. Jesus, in teaching us in these two parables, is basically reminding us that the kingdom of God, God himself, is greater than any value, anything that we are searching for in life. So as we live our lives every day of our lives, we discover that all that we may want to possess, in the end, God is our greatest value. And if God is our greatest value, we do everything. We try to search for him, know him, love him, and serve him. But we serve him more significantly, more concretely in our brothers and sisters in our everyday life.